And now, over the years, I've often said that we'll know we've been successful when there's an entire generation of Rainier Scholars graduates who are poised and ready to replace the staff and the board and other community leaders in this town. For that will mark a time when the cycle has come full circle and we know that a new generation of leaders has been developed. And after visiting in recent days with our next speaker, I now know who my successor will be, and I can begin to daydream about early retirement with the knowledge that all will be well. So please join me in welcoming Cohort 2 scholar, former Garfield Bulldog, and soon-to-be alum of Spelman College in Atlanta, Georgia, Miss Isolina Cambell Cronin.
Thank you. I stand before you in this moment, counting down the days before my college graduation. On May 18th, I will graduate magna cum laude from Spelman College. I cannot adequately describe the incredible feeling of accomplishment and the overwhelming gratitude I have for all of the people in my life who cared enough to ensure that I received a college education. As an educator herself, my mother was the first to expose me to the joy that learning can bring. Then, at a very young age, Rainier Scholars saw the potential in what I could become long before I even saw it in myself. In turn, my mom saw the potential in Rainier Scholars to help her realize the dreams she too had for me. By being part of this community, I've been held to high expectations, and the best has been demanded of me. I am surrounded by people who believe in me, and that belief made me feel like it was never an option to quit. I remember receiving my acceptance letter from Rainier Scholars. It felt like victory. It was a vote of confidence. It guaranteed I would be challenged in the classroom. And just weeks after finishing 5th grade, I entered a program that would lay the foundation for my future. Now, I'm not going to lie and tell you it was easy. Like every scholar before me, this experience was a new level of hard. I distinctly remember my first day of class. It was history with Miss Johnson. And not only was I surprised to get homework on the first day, but I was astonished at the fact that we were assigned a chapter to read by a historian named Howard Zinn, an author of college-level works that would open my mind to new historical perspectives. Over the next year, I learned the true meaning of rigor and responsibility. Despite the tears, the Rainier Scholars in here know about the tears, the overwhelming amounts of homework, and the challenge of balancing regular school with Rainier Scholars, I never felt alone, as I was surrounded by cohort mates persevering on the same journey. I learned I was capable of more than I ever imagined. 14 months of academic rigor and high expectations later, a new sense of pride was revealed in my own education. I had developed my own definitions of perseverance and success. I learned that struggle was an important part of the process. Most importantly, excellence was no longer an option. It became the norm. As longtime believers in the premise of public education, my mother and I made the decision for me to attend one of Seattle's most recognized public high schools. I found myself in AP courses at Garfield, where I was one of 3 African-American students. And despite drawing on the strength of my Rainier Scholars experience, I suddenly felt like I did not belong. Many fellow students were familiar with the framework and expectations of advanced placement courses, but I was intimidated and nervous and too prideful to ask for help, and my struggle was soon reflected in my grades. I was jeopardizing my college admissions options and scholarship qualifications by struggling in silence. Facing academic probation during my junior year, the message from Rainier Scholars was clear. You have the ability to do this. Take the steps required to change the situation. Be accountable, and we are here to support you. This was a valuable experience that helped bring clarity to one of my future goals. I want to ensure other students like me never feel that they don't belong in a high-achieving classroom. I want to make certain that they never feel like they have to choose between being Black and smart. Applying to colleges and making the decision to attend Spelman established my pathway to exploring education and the field of teaching. Spelman's mission is to develop women of color to be leaders and global change agents. With excellence as the expectation of all of its students, it seemed quite similar to Rainier Scholars. When my mother and I went to visit Spelman, I knew I was right where I was supposed to be. During my sophomore year, I began observing schools from my field experience. Entering Georgia's schools and classrooms further expanded my awareness of America's educational system. My student teaching experiences exposed me to a reality so shocking that it further confirmed my life's purpose. On my first day of working with a group of high school students preparing for the upcoming graduation test, I realized they had been passed along without foundational skills necessary to scaffold knowledge in every subject. It was heartbreaking to try to change their outcomes in just a few short sessions, knowing that they would eventually become part of the 20% of African Americans in our nation without a high school degree, and never have an opportunity to set foot on a college campus. My growing understanding of the root causes of poverty shined the light even brighter on the need for high-quality education in our country. Seeing these aspects of education up close might cause some people to seek other jobs, but it only furthered my love of teaching and goals for education reform. The summer after my junior year in college, I was one of 40 candidates selected to serve as a summer teaching fellow with Uncommon Schools, a New York-based charter management organization. What I saw in my first hour at North Star Academy in Newark, New Jersey, reinforced my belief that it is possible for students to reach their full potential. As I witnessed children answering challenging math questions, my mind wandered back to my early middle school days. What I saw and learned at Uncommon Schools reminded me of the rigor, high expectations, classroom management strategies, engaged teaching staff and administrators, and a level of excellence that I was surrounded with at Rainier Scholars. I felt at home with every aspect of this high-achieving culture. It made me wonder, if the data shows that this type of model works, why aren't we seeing it used more often and for all students? Having been exposed to a high-quality education and knowing personally the long-term benefits, I believe it is my hearty responsibility to bring similar opportunities to more students across this nation, so that they too can experience the confidence, stability, intelligence, gratitude, and sense of purpose that I feel as I approach college graduation. I'm excited to begin my educational career in a full-time teaching position with Uncommon Schools at North Star Academy in a second grade classroom this upcoming school year. But I want my work to go beyond one classroom, in one district, and in one state. Public education should represent the same quality and caliber of education as any private school in this country. My goals and objectives include gaining educational and professional experiences that will prepare me to one day hold a position of national educational leadership. It will be my life's mission to see the potential in all children and believe in them long before many of them believe in themselves. I hope to bring that potential out of them, enabling them to surpass the roles which society has prescribed for them, just as was done for me and so many other students of color in this community by Rainier Scholars. Thank you.